how to overcome stage fright. And even if you are a seasoned dancer, how to overcome expectations. And what does it mean really to perform? All of these questions are so connected with the fear of visibility and to the fear of being fully creative, which to me also means to be a little bit messy. To answer all of these questions, I want to share with you a little extract from a session with my dear student Flo. In our sessions together, we were working on one of her choreographies because she wanted to present a choreography on stage, and we were working on it together, and I love to do this kind of work with my students. But as we were working on the technicality of musicality of, creative combinations, there was something else that emerged during our conversations. And it was not something about technical stuff, but more about mindset. So as a dance coach, this is my jam. I love to work with the mindset of my students to really go in depth and understand where are the fears that are blocking us in our creative process. If you're a dancer who wants to shine on stage, not only through her beautiful costume or her beautiful technicality, but really from inside out, this video is for you. Enjoy this conversation. Imagine like you are getting ready for a trip somewhere. Okay, like you're visiting Japan for the first time. I'm just saying, I don't know if you ever went to Japan or if you love to go, but just let's take like a little island in Japan somewhere that you never visited before, but you don't have much time there. Like you cannot spend 3 months there. You have like a day or something like that. So what do? You get ready. You study a lot, and you have all the Lonely Planet guides, and you prepare the maps. I'm gonna visit this, and then at 1 o'clock I'm gonna go and check this restaurant, and then you have like a whole plan, and you're like, yes, now I'm ready to go. But of course, the experience that you have once you're there is never exactly as you planned, and the map that you are using in your guide might be different now. Maybe the restaurant now it's closed because I don't know, they have a wedding or something you couldn't anticipate, and then you have to shift and find new ways. But even more so, like what happens is that when things get out of your control, maybe they're even more fun because maybe you cross this guy which leads you to this party you didn't know, and now you are in this party full of Japanese people drinking sake, and then you meet someone else which brings and then life goes on, and then you come to the end of the day like, whoa, I had a map, I had a plan, and then it didn't went like I wanted, but I enjoyed it so much, and it was so cool. So it was important for you to get ready, because if you didn't have a map, then what happens? Because I tried that. I tried, okay, I'm just gonna go, and I don't know about nothing about the place. And then you don't know how the bus works, and then you spend 2 hours just to understand, and then the you're running out of time, and you don't know which museum is what, and you spend so much time doing nonsense. So you need to get ready, you need the map, but you also want to be open to the possibilities. Because otherwise, if you're not open to the possibilities, let's say it's not you, Flo, but it's someone else, and you get to the restaurant and it said it's closed for a wedding, and you're like, oh no, we need to stick to the plan, and now we're gonna wait until this fucking restaurant is open, or you're just gonna be angry the whole day because the bus didn't stop, and then you get grumpy, and oh, this plan didn't work, I had to plan more, and so I think the best way to get into the unknown is to have a map but be open to fuck it off, just to get messy. Because in the messiness, most probably the most precious things might come, and the most precious memories for your travel. Like when you come back home and you tell all of your friends, I got into this party full of Japanese people and this happened. This is the most fun part for you. Not the fact that you happen to be at the museum at the exact time of opening hours, whatever. So, this whole little thing to say that when we dance is exactly the same as you might probably have thought. It's like stepping into the unknown. You don't know what is going to happen. And it's a dangerous place. Like if you visit a place which is far away from home and you have no idea who you're going to encounter and how, and you're on your own, it's a dangerous place. But it's also that kind of danger that brings fresh air, new perspectives, new ideas, creativity, and that's why you travel, basically.
Mm.
And the same happens in the creative field. You step into a stage, which is a dangerous place because you feel so seen. But what you want is to have a map, of course, because otherwise you're like, oh, freezing and, I just want to get out of here. You want a map, you want the choreography, you want to have a structure, you want to know your music, you want to, have the costume ready and blah, blah, blah. But you also want to be open to what happens. And what happens is the feelings that you're going to receive and project, the conversation that you're going to have in the moment. Because dance is not like painting. No, like painting a painting and then putting into a wall. Everyone from here to 200 years from here will see this painting. And it sticks in time until it decays, of course. But dance only happens when you dance and it's gone, you know? And we might nowadays think we have the videos to experience the dance, but the video is really like the picture of a waterfall. You cannot get the essence of the waterfall with a picture of a waterfall. And you cannot get the essence of dance if you're not experiencing it live when it happens. Do you agree with that? Right? So, all of this to say that you want the structure. That's what we do. You want the drills, you want the bodybuilding, you want the everything. We need that. It's important to feel that we have just a little glimpse of control. Because otherwise we are too much in the wild, and we know nothing. But you also want to be open to what happens in the moment when you jump on stage and the lights goes on and the audience is there and you feel this energy, and then you open to what happens. And maybe you're gonna be so messy, maybe the choreography is not gonna come. Maybe your body will follow the choreography, but your mind maybe will experience something else. But what you want to be is really in the moment of what is happening, to connect. As you said, walking by the street, your mind can be somewhere else, just bringing back here. And also when you're on stage, be aware of the fact that the mind is going off, just bring it back here. This is the embodiment, coming back to the body. this is what it is. Right?
It's very,
It's sinking down.
wow. I am a, a I feel I could cry because your words are very helpful. It's not the good word, but it's your words help me to connect to the part of me who just want to be, to dance. It's very beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, my dear. You're allowed to cry if you want.
Well,
I hug you right now.
very because it release some tension, not necessary tension.
Yeah.
We cannot control anything, so
Yes.
it's really beautiful. Merci. So,
Thank you, my dear.
voilà.
I think
I love the
what?
I love classes. I love the classes with you. You are the only teacher who is doing this in the fusion community. Mm, thank you.
Thank you, Kieta. Thank you
And
so much.
just can I ask you, maybe it already happened to you that, as you said, jump you jump on stage like, oh, I will I would be a I will do an impro because I'm good in impro, and then finally you, even if you are professional, even if you are Lamia Barbara, even if you miss everything. Okay.
Yes. How many times? Oh my God. Can't even number how many times I messed it up.
Okay.
Oh my, yes. And um, really, these kind of talks come from true lived experience of everything that I am mentioning. Um, it happened to me to jump on stage many times. You know what? Because I didn't have the time, or maybe I told myself I didn't have the time to get ready
Right.
enough. Well, also, if you have so many shows one after the other, it's either you
Mm,
on stage the same thing
mm.
or you get really messy. And my choice was to get really messy many times. And sometimes, you know what happens? Sometimes we unconsciously, oh, you're freezing. I hope yes, you're here, right? Okay. We unconsciously um, self-sabotage
Right.
our hyper control, which in
Okay.
some way is a good thing, you know, because we want to have control over everything. We want to everything to be, "Ooh, I need the map to be on the minute, on a second. I want to know everything that is happening every freaking second." So sometimes unconsciously, we want to deviate from that because we want to leave some blank space for the magic to happen here and there. And sometimes this unconscious self-sabotage can take all of the space. Like, I'm not gonna prepare anything. I'm not gonna know even what my music is. I'm gonna choose the music 1 minute before going on stage. You know, sometimes it can get this messy. And in this messiness, as I said, the best thing can happen. Like it happened to me that I went on stage, I didn't know what was happening, and I was just wearing a costume like super simple. I didn't know what I was wearing. And I actually had an Indian classical dance performance before. So I was wearing all of the red alta and everything. And I was like, oh, this black with red. Okay, I'm gonna stick to that. Everything happening off stage. Okay, just really in the moment. And then I got on stage and it was so powerful. I was like, yes, like this is the space where I want to live, this creative flow and everything. And then many times it became the opposite. Like I went on stage and I was like, oh, so much on my mind and I couldn't really get into the flow and blah, 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 blah. So it's tricky, it's a little dangerous. So that's why the idea to me now like the suggestion would be, don't go on stage completely without a structure. Just create a little structure with some blank spots here and there and be open to the possibilities of magic to fill those spots, but still to have a kind of a map so that if you feel completely lost into the wilderness, you can grasp into something to come back into, to yourself, to have those hooks. Because sometimes we feel like, oh, I don't know who I am, I don't know where I am. And you have those hooks in the music or just in the character or just in a movement, whatever, to come back. This helps a lot, a lot. But that's also what I wanted to say, that sometimes the fact that we feel, oh, like you said in the beginning, I know I have enough time, but I'm not preparing enough. I'm not, okay, this feeling of not being enough is like the foundation of being a creative person. Everyone will always not feel enough. Even if you train 5 or 6 hours a day, you would never feel it's enough. Because what is enough? I mean, perfection is only for gods and goddesses, and we are human beings. So, so one part of the problem is that we will never feel enough. But the other part of the problem is that maybe unconsciously you are trying to give yourself some space because you don't want to be too much in control on stage. If everything is too much in control.
Can you repeat?
Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, don't worry. If you want to interrupt like with a thought, you can.
Okay.
Okay. So the fact that you are feeling not prepared enough is one part is because we will never be enough anyway. Okay. But the other part is that maybe sometimes what happens is that you are unconsciously trying to create some spaciousness and you don't want to be too much in control. Because if everything is too much in control, you don't feel there is no space for the magic. Everything is like, okay, you're like a robot, you go on stage, boom, 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 you're perfect. Ha ha ha. Congratulations. But where's the magic? Where's the feeling? Right? Thank you so much, beautiful dancer, for watching this video. And if you liked it and would love to practice with me, this is again your invitation to join the Advent calendar, because we're going to start next week and it's going to be such a wonderful journey. 21 days of practice with me daily. We're gonna work on our conditioning, we're gonna work on our drills, we're gonna work on our technique, we're gonna work on our combos, but most importantly, we're gonna have so much fun together. So find the link in the description down below and can't wait to meet you for the Advent calendar.